there's old school ways of doing commercials, sending out different marketing tools, maybe what it might be. The only problem I have with those is no way to track the ROI. If you run a radio ad, is there any way to see how many people listen to that ad? No. If you run a commercial on TV, can you really see how many people? I mean, you might not be able to. Maybe the viewer of the TV could, whoever else can, but you can't particularly view those and show your sponsors those directly. So they don't even want to do business with you, they want to do it with the TV commercial, right? So now you have to get middleman once again. So the biggest thing I found is having all those issues at play, how can we get past that? And what we did was we actually developed a software system. It's called Thrive. It's me and quite a few other people who developed this software. It really puts everything all in one. It's a one-stop shop platform, and it really helps build the whole thing through there. But more importantly, we have a whole sponsorship blueprint built up where we actually teach people to go step by step on how they can actually get past the gatekeepers and actually talk to the decision makers. Next slide. There's 3 key principles when dealing with sponsors. You need to clarify what you do. You need to differentiate who you are versus what anybody else that's doing. And the last thing is you need to launch. Talk about the launch program of what you're going to do. So next slide, Damon, actually. This is going to be kind of this is the blueprint of the sponsorship deck that we built. As you can see, there's 3 key points up top that I just talked about, and each 3 key point has 3 key factors you must do within that. The first one's going to be the business survey. Damon, you can go to the next slide as well, actually. So clarify. Defining your offer, right? So what it is that you're offering the business, what it is you're able to do. For me, what we've been able to do tremendously, I'm going to dive into that a little bit, but we use our players as a way of advertising. And like I said before, with Tokyo, with the Olympics, you see all the players running commercials for Ruffles, for all these different businesses across the board, and that's a way to build their brand. And that's what we can do as well. We got to remember that our basketball team is not just a basketball team that plays the games. We're the back end business, we're an advertising agency. We're partnered with big businesses to grow and promote their brand. So that's how we're going to define our audience, by making sure that defining our offering by showing exactly what we can do, what we can offer, and how we can do that. Then as well, identify your audience. Every business, right? If you're talking with Coca-Cola, how do they know your business actually pertains to their client base, right? First of all, you have to figure out who their client base is, and so that's part of the business survey call. Learning that you can't just send them over a stock deck. You have to do a business survey call to figure out who their audience is. You can survey them to figure out what it is they're looking for. Is it looking for men, what age, what group, all that stuff through everything said and done, right? So it's part of the business survey call as well. And the last step of the clarify who you are is just creating actions to follow through what your business will do to offer them. Dan, you can go to the next slide actually. This right here is a picture of my website. Once again, I actually just first year playing, we haven't even played a game. It's kind of terrifying. Before playing a game, we gained 2 big sponsors we had 4 sponsors before even landing our first players. We already raised $6,000 worth of sponsorships, and that was before we even figured out our venue, our team. So then I got terrified. I was like, holy crap, now I got to figure out the rest of this business. Because I was like, I have the sales background, but how do I do the basketball side stuff now? So, but one thing I'll tell you guys is digital real estate is real. COVID affected most businesses. Businesses that have a brick and mortar now launch from brick and mortar to what? E-commerce, to do more online. Now, once again, if you send out something to a survey, let's say you send it to Mountain Dew, and they go to research your business, and they can't find anything about your business online, do you even exist? Nope. And now what's the first thing, right about you guys? If you hear about, oh man, I got this real good place to get a haircut, what's the first thing you start doing? Google. I'm gonna go look up that business. So if you're talking to these sponsors about who you are, but you actually don't have yourself, your own digital real estate, how can that go into it, right? And that's something I think that, with operations upgrade, a few other things as well, that's huge, that's gonna dive into it. But more importantly, go to the next slide for me, David. More importantly, one thing I talked about before is knowing your audience. And this right here is actually on this software we use as well. You can actually edit and do everything through this software as well, but you can see how many site views we get daily, weekly, manage all that through this alone. So your website you build through our software, it manages all of that said and done. Go to the next slide for me, David. And you can see as well, social media content. Who here knows that social media, I think Greg hit on it, social media is the best way to promote. I don't know about you guys. This right here through our software, it actually promotes anything you want to post. You just preset it. So you see where it says post now, plan post, or whatever it is. You plan post it, you post it right there. Whatever you want to do, you preset it all in the software, and it'll do the work for you. So I know that running a small business, how tough it is to have to play 10 hats and try to do all this at once. Why do that when you can just pre-post it and let it launch for you a week later, 2 weeks later, a month later, whatever it may be. More importantly, with your sponsors that we're doing work with, A lot of our posts aren't even about our team, they're about our sponsors so far, because we're doing work with these sponsors and we're advertising their brand through our media pages. So all these pre-planned posts, I can show them exactly how many posts we're doing a week for them, exactly what's going on, how many views are on our posts, because think about it, Instagram does what? It shows how many likes you got. It shows how many views you get. Our website on the back end does the same exact thing as well. Hit the next slide for me, Damon. And then also, more importantly, it's going to show, you can see the demographics, you can see the fans and engagement demographics. It can show you that 41% of our fans are actually going to be female, 59% are going to be males. All from our social media content, everything from there as well. It tracks age, everything you want it to track, it's going to track and monitor. So when you're speaking to an audience or you're speaking to a sponsor, when they have questions like, hey, we're really looking for someone in between this age, well, guess what? I can now go through all that and figure out where your client is from my client base, and I can send out marketing tools directly to them. Because if you look on this side right here, all these tabs, and we're going to get to them a little bit, but there's actually marketing campaigns you'll be able to send out directly, and you can drip campaigns. Anybody know what that is? A drip campaign is where you continuously add new emails that fit the clientele book that they want. So if someone's interested in, like, for example, one of my sponsors is Boom Boss. Anyone that shops at Boom Boss or buys a pizza at Boom Boss, there's a QR code on their menu and on their door. They scan that, it goes right to my website, it logs them as a client. It now puts them into a drip campaign for Boom Boss. And we send out 4 different campaigns a week for Boom Boss. It's around their special days. They have 4 days a week that they have different specials that we drive. So anyone who ever scans Boom Boss, that's also where they get a coupon and this and done, it gets entered into that drip campaign for Boom Boss, so I never have to do the work again. So every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Boom Boss has a campaign for all 4 of those days specials getting sent out to any customer who scan that QR code and put their name right in Boom Boss. So there's a lot of opportunity there. Go to the next page for me, Damon. Differentiate, right? Find your value. That's a part of the value as well. We're going to tap into that a little more. What's the value you can bring that sponsor? You're going to be able to bring them a ton of value by showing exactly their audience, who their audience is, what you're pertaining to, how you're able to send out all the marketing campaign tools, everything there. Building strategy is a part of the survey call as well, right? When you're on the business, you're going to build a strategy, and I'm going to show you guys next in a few minutes about how that step-by-step process for building strategies leads to, which is the developing a proposal. Go to the next page for me, David. So this right here, like I was telling before, when someone scans it, this is what it will actually have on the back end of the system. When someone scans that, it's a client. You can add a new client on the app as well. There's an app for all of this. But when you add a new client, there's some key things here. What does it say? See where it says add tags? So any tag that you wanted to add somebody to, let's say you wanted to Boom Boss, let's say you had a sponsorship of Coca-Cola, whatever it was, you just add that tag and it automatically puts anyone in your database underneath that key tag. So whenever you send out the drip campaigns or the announcement, it goes right to those people. So once again, you're able to track and monitor exactly what it is these sponsors are giving you money to do. There's no guessing game. There's not a, hey, what did I do? Or, hey, what was the return on my investment? No, we're more about giving people revenue back for their business, right? That's what I tell every single sponsor I speak to. Go to the next page for me, David. And then, like I was talking about the net announcement. These are the drip campaigns. Like, this is the thanks for connecting with Boom Balls and Kernels. That one gets sent out to a ton of different people. Everybody who scans that, once again, they have the 4 days a week. We send out drip campaigns directly to, it goes direct to email and text message, which is unique. Now, I'm going to talk about a little bit more about tickets as well on this. I have it set up right now currently that anyone that's ever scanned our database, we are, the day before game day, we are sending out a campaign directly for anyone who's ever interacted with my database. Hey, tomorrow's game's at this place, this date and time. Click here to buy tickets. Boom. I don't have to worry about someone handing out tickets. Literally, they just click a link direct to their text message. So imagine if you have 10,000 people interact with your database. You can just send that to on game day. What's the likelihood of you selling out bigger events, bigger games, because you have more people you're networking to instead of just, I hope they come, I hope they show up, right? So that's huge. The automated campaigns as well as the announcements. On the announcements tabs, it actually will show you reports of how many people that you sent that to, how many clicked, how many viewed, how many actually measured it. So you can track the ROI, and you can also see the date and time that people will click and view, so you can know what better date and time to send it out to. Because it's a learning curve. Same thing we're going to tell our sponsors. It's a learning curve. We're going to need to figure out the best thing that it's going to do for your business. And the beautiful thing about it is we have unlimited campaigns we can send. We don't have, with anything that has to do with like Facebook promoting and that stuff costs to promote online. If you want to put in advertising online, if you want to do that, it costs per post. This right here is included in the software. Anyone that's in your database, you can send an advertising right to them, announce it to them directly, and more importantly, you can track the ROI for your sponsors. Go to the next page for me, David. This is kind of what the announcement campaign looks like. And the beautiful thing about it is you can edit it from scratch yourself. This hyperlink button down here where it says enter your call to action button. Let's say that you're dealing with Boombox. I'm going to use Boombox again with me. So, or my car dealership, who's my largest sponsor. What I have with them, Ford on there, whenever you click the call to action button, it goes right to their application page. So, because every car dealership wants new people applying for new cars, right? So when they click that call to action button, it launches right to the car dealership's website and pulls up their actual application page right then and there. And they can track, I can show my sponsors through and through how they get the return on their investment. Just think about it, if you have 100 people you send this out to, or 1,000 people you send this out to, and people are clicking and applying for cars, those cars turn into new bought vehicles. That's new revenue for the business. They never would have had without your business. And the beautiful thing about this is all online. This is all from digital real estate. We're not even tapping into the fact that what we can do for building out campaigns to sell. Like we're hosting events at people's place of business. They're paying us to come out there and do that as well. I'm sure you guys have heard of the radio stations in your area, and they always have these events where they bring DJs, everything else. They charge